Welcome back to New Life. It's been a year since bushfires devastated this area of Victoria, and we're back to see how things are going. You'll notice that the bush, as it were, is springing back to life. And we also wanted to meet with people and ask them how they're getting on with their lives and how Samaritan's Purse is helping them in that process. So Marina, we're here just near King Lake, which is actually not very far from your place, is it?
No, that's right. I was sort of mercifully away from the fire danger, but very close to the fire. I was in an area...
Marina Pryor is well known throughout Australia for her roles in musical theatre. Although not affected by the fires, her role as an ambassador with Samaritan's Purse has seen her helping to care for those who lost their homes and property.
It's very hard for me to come back onto this site. My husband and I had many wonderful years here together, and he died just before the fires, and that's compounded the tragedy for me.
Lynn Mullins lived here in Yarra Glen with her husband Brian, who tragically died a few weeks before the bushfire destroyed their Pole Hereford stud.
The positive things that have been tremendous have been the volunteer effort has been just extraordinary. I think you'll have heard this across the nation. And Samaritan's Purse came into my life about June or July of last year with a wonderful offer of fully equipped trailers to go into those areas.
Well, the first thing we did, we assembled kits of tools because we recognised that people, were going back to their destroyed homes and their properties and sifting through the ashes. So we produced toolkits of shovels and brooms and masks and hammers and screwdrivers and sieves and that, so people could, and then we went from there and did a whole lot of tarpaulin kits, to put over the leaking caravans through the winter, and gave people doormats and that sort of stuff. And then from there we went further on, Carl, to farmers' kits with farming pliers and chainsaws and that sort of thing.
Once they turned up with the trailer, that's when the Army of Volunteers came to the fore, and they've come from all over Australia. I had them, thousands of them, literally. I've dealt with over 1,000 volunteers, and they came from every state at their own expense, by rail, by boat from Tasmania. They flew from Perth, they flew from Queensland, they drove from Perth. They set up their motorhomes. They were just absolutely wonderful people.
Jane and Owen Bayliss lost their Kinglake house and farm sheds in the fire, with Jane also losing her parents, well-known Melbourne newsreader Brian and Maureen Naylor.
We built our house that was just up there about 27 years ago.
Wow.
My husband is born and bred and has been on the farm all his life.
Wow. And so the time, when the fires occurred,
Yes.
They came over the hill this way.
Yes.
And you were at home, which is just up on the hill. Is
Yes.
that right, when they happened?
Yes.
And you came down here to shelter?
Yes, we did. We each got in a vehicle and drove down this hill and over the dam bank, and then got in the dam.
Jane, after the fire, you and your family survived here in the dam.
Yes.
But how did you feel as you got over the event in days afterwards?
Pretty numb for quite a while. It was hard to believe what had actually happened, and devastated with the loss of my parents in the fires.
How did people help? What helped afterwards?
We've had just so much wonderful help. We had Samaritan's Purse come and offer equipment, and people came and helped with our fencing, which was a really quite urgent need because we needed fences to contain the cattle.
We decided in cooperation with the Salvation Army that we would put this program together, phase 2 of Project Recovery, and we were using teams from the corporate world. It was quite fascinating, and there's a lot of generosity out there, and we're able to help all sorts of people right across the state. It's more than fencing, Carl. It's about being there. It's about supporting people and giving them some hope and encouragement. You're standing with them. It's mates helping mates, and that's really what it's about.
It was a Holocaust. There's no getting away from that. And as I've said to people, that even now after the First World War, people are digging up shrapnel and remnants of that war. And they're not all buried here yet. There's still a lot of remnants of this fire here. but in our hearts we've got a heck of a lot of shrapnel.
And as you go forward, as you look forward, I mean, there's lots to put behind, but what helps you look forward? What helps you go forward?
God's faithfulness, His love, just the way He blesses us, puts people in our path to encourage us. He really just has been our refuge, comfort and strength, and He just is my hope for the future.